What's up guys, Intellitech Studios here, and this video was quite frustrating to make. This is my Hoover WindTunnel Supreme, and after going through several other Hoover WindTunnels, including, well, the other three being transparent models, I had a transparent red one with a standard base, and then two transparent blue ones with wide path bases, and they all are junk. The two blue ones were completely rusted out, not able to take them apart and do any real component cleaning or swap on them at all. And of course, the black one that these parts came off of had a bad cord and had some plastic posts that were snapped off. And there's this red one, which doesn't have any, which is the only one of the three not to have any indicators anywhere on the unit for the bag. And that one, as you can see, I used that body and put the base on. The only good base was the base from the black one, so I put the back door on it too to match. And this one, of course, has still some broken posts and broken plastic, namely where this little bracket on the back goes in, but the handle holds it in, and right here where the lower door hook is and the wands go, so I got to be careful with that. Other than that, I was able to get this amalgamation of wind tunnels together. So this is a much newer Maytag wind tunnel with the older Hoover wind tunnel parts on it. So it's a basic red wind tunnel underneath, but based on the branding now, because the branding's on the base and the model number's on the base, this is a wind tunnel Supreme now, and it's got the base, the bag door, and the filter cover from that, which is a bit loose, but I don't really care. So brand new post motor filter, if this will focus. Brand new post motor filter. You got a bag, which this bag actually I put in this a while ago. We've got a brand new pre-motor filter. A washed bag door, although there's still some dust in it, but I'm not really concerned about that. And then I also took the cleaning tool brackets and a set. I actually found a really nice set of tools that I have with a dusting brush that you can actually see through, and put those on. So all that is good. And this is just kind of an amalgamation of parts. The best handle, I took off one of the blue ones, so there's a gray power switch instead of a red one. Other than that, it's pretty much good. It's got the stretch hose on it with the little extension bracket, and it's got probably the shortest cord out of all of the units. There's one little scrape right there, but nothing too bad. And not mismatched, but different condition wands from different units. And then if I lower this, we can see I took the nicest brush roll out of all of these, which this brush roll, even though it's the original type brush roll, it's not a modern CWB brush roll. Bristles are actually in really good shape, and it runs very smooth. I even took the belt out of one of these because the belt still is tight and still has some tension, although it is worn in some spots. So I expect that to break at some point, but when it does, I've got some 160 belts. But, I don't like to, actually replace belts on my own machines until they actually need them. So, and of course, all the screws on this are rusted, but these ones are at least passable. I may replace them with the screws from my Tempo. But if I flip this, we can see this has all the information from this bottom housing piece. So according to this is a model number U5443-900, and this one would be a 99, so September of 1999, if I'm looking at that correctly, which I very well may not be. So yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't remember how well the headlight was on this. I don't remember, so I might have to replace that bulb because I completely forgot about that until just now. But nevertheless, there's a lot of dirt on the carpet that fell out of all those because they're all nasty. So we can give this a run and clean all that up. Yeah, and it doesn't have the burning issue that the newer Hoovers have, which is nice. But yeah, so it runs pretty okay. And you can tell how little I gave a crap about putting the other Hoovers back together because these are all the screws I have left. So one of those Hoovers apparently is missing the base tray screws, and there's one of the screws that are missing. One of these should have gone in this part right here, but that post is broken. So, and I think one of those Hoovers, I didn't bother putting the screws back. Actually, I think it was the original machine, the original body that these black parts came off of, because I went to go disassemble the motor housing, and one of the posts snapped off. So I think I just threw the rest of it back together and didn't put the screws in. The rest of the screws back in because I didn't care because it was already trashed at that point. So it really sucks how brittle these things have gotten over the years. And people talk about Dysons and stuff being brittle. These also get brittle, and I've learned that pretty intensely because I haven't had 3 Dyson DC07s in a row be brittle and break on me, whereas these have. And I love these. I still like these, but after literally yesterday I started working on these at about 10, and I'm glad I wasn't filming it because it would have been a 4-hour video. I didn't go to bed until 3:45, and that was with leaving everything just apart on my floor. So it was just not pleasant. Rocco can tell you it was pretty bad. But yeah. So hi Bubby. And it annoyed me because yesterday was his gotcha day. I've had this little fuzzball for a year. Can you believe that? A year of constant flops. Flop. But anyways, so that's the Hoover WindTunnel Supreme, built out of many other dead wind tunnels. Not dead motor-wise. The motors in them are all good. It's just the plastic is all messed up. And the housings are all beat. So I wonder how easy it would be to convert my Tempo into another wind tunnel. You know, if I have the harness and the headlight lens from one of those other ones, plus an extra stretch hose and longer cord and all that. Actually, I probably have to replace the body because this part's separate. But yeah, so it's a brand new one of those. So this thing's got some life left in it for sure. I actually may end up just taking all the screws from my Tempo because I don't care as much about the Tempo. This is a much better machine. And I might end up just putting those screws on this so I don't have to worry about these ones stripping out. Because these screws are so bad at stripping out. They're just... And it doesn't help that all these people that had these just beat them to crap and obviously vacuumed up liquids with them and left them outside and all that. And yet they got donated and I ended up paying full price for all of those, which is wild. I've wasted so much money on these. Turns out this black one, is the one that I spent the least on. And I'm pretty sure it was free. And then one of the blue ones was $20. I think the red one was either 15 or 20. I can't remember at this point. And then one of the other blue ones was like maybe also 20 or maybe 15. I can't remember. So I wasted like $50 on these. And, at that price, I could have just bought a Power Force and had a lot less headache. Was it worth it? No, not even close. But, at least I got one of these back together. And so I still have one of these wind tunnels that I bought off of another collector by the name of Nate J many years ago at this point. I still have that one, but that one is a solid color like this one. It's a burgundy, and that one has a square base. So I was hoping to fix up one of those transparent blue ones so I could have one that's a wide path and the clear plastic, but it didn't work out that way, so I've got two opaque ones. But they actually will look kind of nice together. So there's that one thing. But at least, so I have a wide path one now. So I've got a wide path wind tunnel, and I've got a standard square base wind tunnel. And I love these machines when I'm using them. I don't like working on these. Having all the different types of screws and all the different extra brackets and stuff that just isn't necessary. I mean, Bissell proved that wasn't necessary. I'd rather work on a Power Glide or a Power Force over one of these any day. These are much more complex for no real reason. Just in little ways that add up, like the way the handle attaches and just the extra different types of screws that are all in here for no reason because of the wind tunnel pathway and all that. It's just a mess. But when I'm not working on one of these and I'm using it, it's still a really nice machine. And now that I have this all back together, maybe I'll do a comparison video at some point between this and the Power Glide Platinum. I do have a turbo brush for one of these somewhere. One of the one that's era appropriate, the blue style one. So yeah, you can probably tell by my voice that I'm just done with this. But you know what? It turned out pretty okay once I finally got this one back together. And since I had a really nice set of tools and I had one of these little brackets that isn't broken, honestly, it turned out pretty darn good, I gotta say. I can't really complain too much, to be fair. And I'm sure Rick Hoover, if you're watching this, I hope you're finally proud of me for getting this situated, because he was wanting me to get these fixed. Not bugging me about it, but he was just, I'd ask him, like, hey, what vacuum should I fix? And he's like, fix the wind tunnel, fix the wind tunnels. And it's like, yeah, no, I should. You're right. And I finally did it. So, in honor of 4th of July, we've got an American-made Hoover wind tunnel. Wait, is this one actually? I mean, I know I actually didn't look and see what the red one underneath is. I'm pretty sure that one's also Ohio, but I could be wrong. But at least this one should be North Canton, Ohio. What did this say? I can't remember. Yep, North Canton, Ohio. Made in the USA. So we can at least go by the parts that I put on here. Made in the USA. So, in honor of 4th of July, we've got an all-American wind tunnel. I don't like picking these back up, too, because there's no handle. So I end up grabbing it and the wands slide. This carry handle is trash. As much as I love these wind tunnels, I still prefer the Power Glide Platinum I'd rather use a Power Glide Platinum over one of these any day of the week. But I still have a soft spot for these, and it's still a great machine. Definitely the motor sounds a lot nicer on these. It's a much more smooth sounding motor. Not saying they're bad on the Power Glides when the bearings are good, but they're both pretty good, to be fair. But I will do a comparison on that at one point, because these are just both brilliant machines. But yeah, and it kind of matches the Mighty Might too, so that's kind of cool. We got the all black going. So yeah. Anyways, this is Rocco. Hi, Rocco. Rocco. He doesn't care. This is the Hoover. Well, technically it's the Supreme with wind tunnel technology by Hoover. Mach 3.3. And this was Intellitech Studios signing out. Have a good one. Peace.